New York Times best. Now, this is a little bit of a frustration because people don't pay. It's like when you had a teacher that said, make sure you read the instructions for the exam before you take the exam. It's the best movies of the 21st century. So anybody who's jumping in with Braveheart or, which I love and would be my overall choice, overall favorite movie all time, that's 1998, I think, or 6, or I forget when, 9, I don't know. But it was definitely in the 20th century. 21st century, best movies of the 21st century. This is the New York Times list that came out. We got producer. I got all of you to tell me your picks, and I thought they were pretty solid. I'm going to say all of you. I mean our team in New York. New York team. Let's start with you, Allie, producer Allie. What was your best movie of the 21st century? You had time to think about this, so you're on the hot seat now if you forgot. What is it?
Oh, no. I'm totally on the hot seat. I had gone with Gladiator, but I had the years all wrong.
Yeah,
no, Gladiator
okay.
came out. Hold on. Gladiator.
2000.
Yes.
Yeah.
It counts in the New York Times list.
It does? Because that's technically the 20th century.
They have it down at 92. So they are counting anything that's 2000 and beyond.
Well, that's an outrage. First of all, the fact that they're counting it and they're putting it at 92 is an outrage. Because, Allie, it would be a top fiver for me, top fiver for sure. They put Parasite at number 1, a foreign film, as the best movie of the 21st century, which I think is mad. Producer Mike, what was yours? You had a good one. Dark Knight? Were you Dark Knight or was that Greg? What does producer Mike say? Dark Knight. Yeah, he was Dark Knight. Solid. I can't quibble with that. I have watched that movie probably 100 times. I enjoy The Dark Knight. He really brought back. People think now, the Batman franchise, huge franchise. That was it was on the ropes after a couple of really bad Batman movies that bombed big time, including one with, I think, the girl from Clueless was in it, Alicia Silverstone. There was a George Clooney. No one even remembers. George Clooney played Batman, and it was such a bad movie that people don't even remember that he was Batman. So the Dark Knight came back from the Batman Begins and the Dark Knight, both great options. Remember, 21st century we're looking at. Clay, what was yours?
I broke it down trio, meaning because to me there's a difference between a kid movie, there's a difference between a comedy, and there's a difference between a drama. So I agree, the whole Christopher Nolan Batman trilogy, The Dark Knight, that is really phenomenal, well done. Up, I think, was the best of the Pixar movies. Up is so well done. And then I think the funniest movie of the 21st century, I think, is Old School. I just think it is absolutely hysterical.
Funny? Well, that's not even a category.
You're
making up categories.
Funniest?
I think Old School is the funniest movie of the 21st century?
What's funnier than Old School?
I mean, I think 40-Year-Old Virgin's funnier than Old School.
40-Year-Old Virgin is very funny. Superbad is very funny. Like, there's a series of 4 or 5 movies, I think, that you could argue. I think the combination of Will Ferrell, Vince Vaughn is tough to beat. Wedding Crashers, also really, really funny and well done. But I think you have to consider again, best doesn't mean Citizen Kane is a phenomenal movie. We talked about yesterday. Schindler's List is a phenomenal movie. It's hard to sit down and just be like, hey, let's have some popcorn and watch Schindler's List.
Well, this is like how I feel about the Pianist, Pianist, to be clear. The Pianist or the Pianist, maybe some people say it that way, is, I think, a perfect movie, meaning it is incredibly well done. And every aspect of it, from the acting to the writing to the sound, to the soundtrack, I think it's a perfect movie. But it's intense. It's World War II.
Yeah.
It's it's a Jewish guy who's trying to flee at one point it's his neighbors and the Nazis. The Pianist is an incredible movie, but I can't say it's my favorite movie because if the Dark Knight trilogy or the Lord of the Rings movies are on, I'm watching those instead of The Pianist. I'm not going to lie and be that guy, which brings me to, I think, their private producer Greg. What was your pick? You didn't give us your We're trying to help you, by the way, for the holiday weekend, everybody. If you haven't seen any of these, we're giving you great recommendations for. I would argue The Lives of Other is a pretty perfect movie, although it is German language, and that is 21st century. But again, it's not a. You still haven't even watched it, have you? You
No.
and Laura haven't watched The Lives of Others, and you haven't. Okay, maybe that one because it's foreign language. I could see Laura being like, "Clay, don't torture us." You guys haven't watched Hacksaw Ridge, which is insane. Because that was I gave you that assignment a long time ago. That movie
To be fair
wild.
to me, I barely see anything. I watch stuff with my kids, which is why I've been watching Harry Potter.
You watch hundreds of hours of college football. Hundreds of hours.
I was going to say, and I watch a lot of sports. Let me give you an underrated movie that I think seems even more contemporary than it was when it came out. Minority Report. No, I'm telling you, go back and watch it now in an age of AI. It seems eerily prescient in terms of its foreshadowing of where we are.
Producer
headed.
Greg is going to weigh in. He wanted to get in on this. Producer Greg, best movie of the 21st century. If you were making this New York Times list, what's number one?
Dark Knight. I'm with producer.
Oh, your Dark Knight guy too.
Mike,
I thought we had double Dark Knight.
Yeah.
Heath Ledger's performance as the Joker is the best bad guy performance that I think you could. It's the No Country for Old Men with what's his name?
Bardem, Javier Bardem.
Javier Bardem.
And Hans Gruber in Die Hard, which was the first time that guy was ever in a movie, which is still amazing.
Does
Alan
watching
Rickman.
The Dark Knight, knowing that Heath Ledger was going to in some way kill himself, like I watch it now, and you're right, the performance is incredible. But when I watch it, in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, in order to become this good, he had to go to such a dark place that it felt to me like a lot of people who are actors and actresses, it's not actually that talented. You know what I mean? Like there are lots of people who are whatever. Heath Ledger, that was actually an artistic performance as the Joker, but I think it led him into a world where his brain like almost broke.
Yeah,
Does
no,
that
he
make
went
sense?
into the darkness. Went into
Yes.
the darkness too much. That has happened with people that get too into a role. A lot of people very high, because I saw a lot of comments about this because I was on with Will Kane and Carol Markowitz on Will's show on Fox, Clay, and that's where this got some attention. A lot of people have as their top movies. I would say the ones that I saw the most for all of you out there. I'd say the one that I saw the most as a number one choice was either There Will Be Blood or No Country for Old Men for best movie of the 21st century. I view those as both excellent movies, but it also goes in that category of There Will Be Blood for me is like watching a masterclass of acting. Like obviously, Daniel Day-Lewis is phenomenal, and the performances are. But do I care about anybody in this story? Really? No. Do I like anybody really? No. And then I think that unfortunately, No Country for Old Men again, very well made. And I'm not saying it's not a good movie. I'm just saying, if it's on, am I going to watch it? I don't know. It's so bleak and kind of nihilistic for me. So I can't get too excited about either one of those as a top 10 of the 21st century. They're both excellent movies, to be clear, but they're not movies. I've only watched each of those maybe twice, which for me is not very many.
I also, to me, when it's a book being made into a movie, I think the excellence of the movie in many ways reflects the book. And Cormac McCarthy is probably the greatest author. Now I'm really going to get people fired up. Probably the greatest author of the last 30 years. And I know he died a couple of years ago, but if you look at his production in terms of his talent and you go all the way back, he moved eventually his fiction to basically the border with Texas and Mexico, but he started off as a Tennessee-based writer. And I think he's probably the most talented writer in America in the last 30 years. And so No Country for Old Men is a novel by him, and I think it just reflects the world that he created on the screen and is actually an illustration of his excellence as a writer more than it is as a film. Does that make sense? Like if you said, hey, The Great Gatsby, which it isn't, and it's been made multiple times, most recently with Leonardo DiCaprio, if you said The Great Gatsby is the best movie that's ever been made, I would be like, well, it's a phenomenal novel. And so to me, I strip out anything that isn't an original movie as a great movie. Does that make sense? Because it's a reflection of the book more than the movie.
One talk back here before we get into more talkbacks and calls to close us out. AA podcast listener Zeb from Texas. Play it.
Clay and Buck, this is Zeb from Texas. Love your show. Listen to you every day since y'all took over for Rush. Ditto, maybe. Hey, listen, I'm so disappointed that y'all would question producer Greg after he's led you right so many times. Minas Tirith is the capital city of Gondor after Osgiliath was destroyed by the orcs in the Battle with Sauron. Trust your man.
This is the nerdiest thing that has ever been said on the show, which is
I love that we have listeners who clearly have a 12 gauge across the back seat of the car, have a Stetson on and cowboy boots, and they're lecturing us about Minas Tirith as the city of as the capital of Gondor after Osgiliath, of course, was destroyed by the orcs in the Battle of Sauron. That is our Texas audience rolling around in a pickup, ready for any javelinas they have to take out. But you get Lord of the Rings wrong, and they're dropping knowledge on you.
The correction yesterday that I read is the nerdiest thing that's ever been said on the show. That talkback and Buck's analysis of it is the second nerdiest thing that's ever been said on the show. In the meantime, I want to tell you about what you want to make sure you do. It's take care of your family with our friends at Sabre. We have every single product, I think this is true, that Sabre produces, whether it's pepper spray, whether it's the projectile pepper launcher, whether it is door protections, everything that Sabre offers, we have in the Travis household. Trust me on this. They are phenomenal. Just go look at the website, sabreradio.com, S-A-B-R-E radio.com. They are phenomenal. They've been doing this for 50 years, family-owned. Products are reliable and trusted. The Pepper Gel projectile launcher, shaped like a pistol or a rifle, depending on the model you choose, fires off a pepper gel projectile. Targeted, goes a longer distance, non-lethal, but it'll protect you. Decide what you need and what you want for your family. Again, we have everything. Right now, you'll get 15% off at sabreradio.com. That's S-A-B-R-E radio.com. If you don't want to go online, you can also call them 844-824-SAFE. These are non-lethal, but they'll help protect your family. 844-824-SAFE.